It's the tax season again, and you're probably wondering, how should you go about it? Because the last time you did it was last year, or maybe this is the first time you're doing it. So we decided to make a two-part series on tax filing, and the first part will be covering the important preparations for tax filing, such as what kind of income needs to be taxed, what are the tax brackets like, what are some tax relief items that you can take advantage of, and how to register for a tax account. Then the next part, we will be showing you a step-by-step walkthrough with screen recording using the easy.hasil e-filing to file your tax. Hopefully you can use this as a reference when you're doing your tax filing. I've also broken down the video into chapters so you can easily navigate and skip to the parts where you want to learn more. Now, let's not waste time. Who and what needs to be taxed? Any resident who lives in Malaysia for 182 days or more in a year with a total income exceeding the threshold value, meaning the minimal set value, will need to register for an income tax file. If you are living in Malaysia for more than 60 days but less than 182 days, then you are considered a non-tax resident. Ta-da! But this doesn't mean that you don't need to pay tax, yeah? It means you're gonna pay a flat rate of 30% on your total taxable income earned in Malaysia. This also means if your income is not from Malaysia, it's not considered. But if you are so-called a qualified person, which is a knowledge worker residing in Iskandar, Malaysia, your tax rate will be 15% on the income from an employment with a designated company engaged in a qualified activity in that specific region. Now, if you want to learn more about that, I also attach a link in the description below. Next up, single or married. If you are single, you will file your tax as an individual. But if you're married, you can choose to file your tax separately or jointly. If you file your tax in a joint fashion, this means you and your partner are considered one unit. So, I know some of you are asking, which one should you choose, right? Well, the truth is, there's no straightforward answer to that. The best way is just to prepare your income tax return in both ways and then compare which one gives you the biggest saving. This can be easily done today because when you use the e-filing on LHDN website, it will show you immediately the kind of tax rebate that you can get. Before we even start talking about filing for tax itself, there are some things you must know and you must prepare. This step is extremely important and probably more important than filing tax itself. Give me just 5 minutes to run through all these with you so you can save more when you file your tax return, and more importantly, avoid the hefty penalty that comes from doing it wrong. Yes, the taxman will audit you from time to time, and if you did it wrong, you may land yourself with a very heavy fine. Total earned income. This will be the first term you need to know. It means the total amount that you gain in the form of profit from a business, profit from employment, dividends, interest or discount, rent, royalty, premium, pension, annuity or other periodic payment, and some other stuff that is not mentioned above. Basically, whatever income that you are getting from whatever sources. Some of you are probably asking right now, what about if it's an income from an overseas source? Well, if you recall, last year they did talk about it. They want to charge any form of income that is brought in from overseas, but there is a U-turn. So when that will change, I'm not sure. So make sure every year pay attention to the latest announcement. Next term you have to know is called chargeable income. This means your total income earned minus the entitled tax relief. Let's say if you earn a gross income of 60,000 ringgit a year, but you are entitled for a tax relief of 13,000 ringgit, then your chargeable income will be 60,000 minus 13, which is 47,000. Usually, the higher your chargeable income is, the more tax you need to pay. This brings us to the next thing, tax relief. If you are a taxpayer, tax relief is your best friend because it helps you to reduce your chargeable income, which lead to savings in tax. Just like the example we gave earlier. Gross income minus tax relief equals to chargeable income. That are usually announced alongside with the budget announcement. For example, the tax relief item for 2022 were announced together with the tabling of budget 2022 in October 2021. This is announced in advance so that people can use this as a guide to plan for their taxes in the coming year. So pay attention to the tabling of budget and make full use of your tax relief to help you to save some money. For this year's 2021 assessment, some of the tax relief items that you have to take note of will be the COVID-19 detection test kit, where you can claim up to 1,000 ringgit. And the next one is for accommodation expenses for local travelling, up to 1,000 ringgit as well. There are 26 items in total for the tax relief item for the year 2021. As a good preparation for tax filing, do keep all the the receipts as a proof of expenditure. One tip is this: take pictures or scan those receipts and arrange it in a folder according to the tax relief item. Because do remember that receipts will fade away and LHDN can audit your account up to 7 years. Let us talk about the tax bracket. The tax rate basically is how much an individual will be taxed according to the chargeable income the person earns. Usually the higher the income, the higher the tax rate. Take note that the tax rate can change from time to time. For example, in 2015, the highest tax rate was 25% for individuals with chargeable income of above 400,000. But in 2021, the highest tax rate has become 30% for individuals with chargeable income above 2 million ringgit. As usual, we'll attach the link to the tax rate table in the description below. At the early of every year, you will probably receive this thing called an EA form from your employer. That's if you're an employee. It can either be in a physical form or an electronic form. Within the form, it will state all the remuneration that you receive from your employer within the year of assessment. Do keep this form, don't throw it away, because you will need to refer to it when you're doing your tax filing. Now, your employer has to prepare and send you this EA form before the last day of February. If not, they can kena fine, so make sure you remind your employer as well. If this is your first time filing tax, you will need to register yourself online. So go to e-daftar.hasil.gov.my, select Daftar Individu, then select Online Registration Form. Make sure you click on the words, not the icon above. Then fill up the form, upload your NRIC, then wait for your one-time PIN. It will be sent to your email within 3 working days. Once you've gotten the OTP, it is time for you to file your tax return. Go to easy.hasil.gov.my and go to first time login. Key in your PIN number and NRIC number. Click submit. In this page, you need to fill in all the information, set your password, and then make sure your information is correct. Then click submit again. Do remember, tax preparation is as important as filing the tax itself. So make sure you prepare yourself accordingly. Now you have done all the necessary preparation, it's time to go and file your tax online. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget we have a part 2 coming up on this Sunday where we'll run through a step-by-step guide on how to do your e-filing to file tax. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So see you guys.